if you're actually interested in something like what the standard was requiring, LD. Now I have these 1 minute values. Can somebody tell me that how would I work out what was the LEQ over, say, the daytime or over the 4 hours or 6 hours? So if I was to plot these values, you would see something like this. You would see that the sound level is changing from time to time. This is data taken on the roadside in Okhla. I think if we plot out what we got last night over here, you would also see something like this. So you'd see some of these peaks when a vehicle has passed or somebody's used a horn or something. Now I have these instantaneous, or you can say 1 minute LEQs plotted out here. I have the whole day's data. How do I work out what would be the LEQ for the entire period? Can somebody help me out to do it? I need an equivalent sound pressure level as if it was not varying, something like this red line that you see here. I have shorter frame LEQs which have led to this graph. So how do I work out from this what would be the LEQ over 4 hours or over 8 hours or over 16 hours, whatever my standard requires? Yes, sir, show of hands, who can help us to do that? Arey, everybody is quite silent. Bright and early morning, come on, take a risk yaar. क्या हो गया, गलती तो हो जाएगी. क्यों sir? How do I work out? I have this set of numbers which I showed you here. I have these set of numbers. These numbers, I have just plotted them out in the graph for you to see. As you can see, these numbers are here. From this I want to work out an equivalent level over the entire time frame, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever. Okay, I think we have 3 major sets of answers that we got. One set is that you average it out, arithmetic average. Another, our friend is saying that he's not comfortable with the idea of average. He says, kuch formula hai, you have to work it out. Logarithmic addition. See, he is pointing out a discrepancy. Logarithmic addition. It's not addition of simple numbers. But I think the real answer has been given by a friend here. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. So he says you plot it out, and you're talking of energy and equivalent energy. So basically, you got to work out the area under that curve, and you have to see a rectangle which has the same area as what you are getting from that varying curve. And that is what was the implication of that integration, integrating sound level meter integration. That is what it implies. Now, what is wrong with that simple averaging? Simple averaging में कहाँ गलती हो रही है? You got logarithmic numbers. Now, we've all done it in high school. If we have 35 multiplied by 236, I take log of 35, log of 236, add the 2 logs, and then take an anti-log, and then I get the result of multiplication, which means if I add 2 logarithmic numbers, it is actually as if I am multiplying them. And this is why you can't take simple arithmetic average. I think now it should be clear to you that when I am trying to work out an equivalent sound level over an extended period of time based upon smaller period units values, then I cannot just take an average. It has to be, as our friend said, logarithmic averaging, logarithmic addition, or as somebody else has clarified, that it has to be essentially a working out of the area under the curve. So it sounds quite complicated, but if you actually get down to doing it, it's not so difficult. Graphically, as we've seen, you've got this as the data coming out, and this is the line which has essentially been taken, where some of these parts which are above the line are compensated for by the parts which are below the line, and the net area under the line actually matches the area which that whole curve is depicting. What you've done, you've plotted against time on this axis, sound pressure level here, and then you try to work out the areas. Fortunately for us, Excel does it quite easily in another fashion. And so the data from your sound level meter ends up into an Excel sheet, and all that we've done is that you had these values over here, these parts, these were your sound level values at 1 minute LEQs. What we've done here is we've taken the anti-log. We first divide by 20, take the anti-log, so that we brought it to a simple number. Rather than a logarithmic number, we brought it to a simple number. So if you see the formula in this cell, you see the formula there now? That formula says that you've got D by 20. So D is that cell here, D20, divide by 20, because we had taken 20 log of something while we got the dB, and then we take this 10 to the power of this number. So it was log to the base 10, and so if we take 10 to the power in Excel, that would give us the anti-log. So we just put in that formula in this cell and copy it down, and you've got all these anti-logs done.
That you calculated in row E.
Pardon me?
E.
Okay, yes, this E.
Yeah, that how we are getting it based on this.
This is what I am explaining to you.
That same formula.
All of these LEQ numbers that you see in D column, they imply the sound pressure level LEQ over that minute, 1526, that minute from 25 to 26, it was 78 dB, right? Now, this is in decibels. I can't add it because it is a logarithmic number. So I want to convert it into what it was before I got it into decibels. How did I get decibel? I took the log and then I multiplied by 20, right? So first I divide whatever was in this number, I divide it by 20. So if I just take this example here, this is for this particular row, 20th row, okay? So this D number 78.2, I divide it by 20. This is what inside the bracket it is showing. D20 divided by 20. So this is what I first did. The decibel was 20 log something, so I divide by 20. This is the first thing I did. And then I want to convert it into the anti-log. So this 10 to the power, this notation is for power, raised to the power, right? So it was log to the base 10, so I said 10 to the power that much. That gives me the anti-log. Simple maths. So in this row, in this column now, I have converted already from decibels to the normal units. And then after that, in the next column, this one here is just a summation first. You can see that formula is upstairs here also, but you can also see here. We've summed this entire column, taken the addition of all of that, sum E4 to E67, and then we've divided by the number of readings. In this case it is 64 readings. It was a shorter this thing so that I can show it to you easily. So we've divided by the number of readings, so that becomes the average for this set of numbers.